Mr. Museveni deployed Anita Among in parliament as a procurement officer to get political turncoats from the opposition. That has been our assignment.
Exactly.
You cannot be misusing taxpayer money like this. You know that you're buying generators. They bought generators for her office, for her home, and the home, not office. Generator for herself and the deputy speaker, each nearly about 300 million shillings.
Each generator, 300 million shillings.
This regime is not interested in fighting corruption.
Exactly.
I am happy that she's being called to order, but I'm not overly excited. Like I've seen some people getting overly excited that now this is a serious fight against corruption. No, please do not be hoodwinked. Her other offense is she has been developing ambitions to run for president.
Exactly. That's her only crime. That's her only crime. Listen here again.
The other offense, aside from being a thief, Anita Among, her other offense is she has been developing ambitions to run for president.
Being a kleptomaniac she is, demonstrated village excitement.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live political commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
And yes, indeed, broadcasting to you from these United States of the Americas. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching me and at whatever time you might enjoy this conversation. My name is Mordecai Marissa, and you're welcome to this channel, Mordecai Marissa Live. Ladies and gentlemen, our attention is still drawn to what's going on in Uganda in regards to quote-unquote investigation of corruption and illicit enrichment by the former Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among. You know, there's been some sort of excitement and endorsement of Muhoozi for a political office as a result of what we see. Many folks are falling into the trap of Muhoozi and Museveni. I'm talking about Tweedledum and Tweedledee, agents of evil, claiming that they are against corruption. Now, it is very easy to get lost into that because we become used to a system that prides in lawlessness and impunity. So if you see one man trying to play as though he cares, you're most likely to be like, I think he deserves a term in office. I think that's the one I should be voting, even when they give you bare minimum. Now, Museveni, he's trying to be like, oh, I'm against corruption. Come on. You're an agent of corruption yourself. So, don't listen to me. There's been at least two people that have come out to categorically explain or expose what's going on for what it is. And those two men are Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago and Leader of Opposition Joel Ssenyonyi. I'm going to go on and show you here what they had to say, and I'll be giving my commentary or break it down for you. Let's go.
Who is Anita Among? We want to categorically state that Anita Among is a creature of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
No doubt about that. Anita Among is a creature of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Continue.
Not Anita the person, but Anita Among the kleptomaniac is a creature of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
100%. The kleptomaniac called Anita Among is the true definition of the student of Museveni politics.
Is a test tube product of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. No doubt about it. However much they try to distance themselves, however much they try now to portray a picture that she's a person who is alien to the values of NRM, who is not in any way connected to the state, the first family. Anita's umbilical cord is still connected to Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, connected to the NRM, connected to the First Family.
Yep.
And we want to emphatically state that she's a test tube product or creature of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for a particular purpose. You all know the circumstances leading to her crossing over to NRM. We don't need to state that she was poached from the opposition, from the FDC, under the cover of the night, the darkness. That's how she was procured by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and taken to NRM. So, having been poached from the FDC, from the opposition, under the cover of the night, Anita Among's behavior cannot be in any way a surprise to the regime.
Nope.
Like they are claiming as if it happened overnight. That all of a sudden, they are now shocked that Anita Among has been able to amass that kind of wealth she's having. They are moving from one house to another, from Nakasero to Chigo to Mutungo. Now the raid is continuing to Buyende. We don't know where it will end. As if they are on a discovery journey. That is full of the highest order.
Exactly.
And Mr. Museveni and his team should not take Ugandans for a ride. They should not deceive or hoodwink Ugandans that they are just discovering the other side of Anita Among. No way. They have always been aware of the same. She was poached from the opposition, and when she was taken to parliament, the assignment was to act as a procurement agent, a procurement officer rather. Mr. Museveni deployed Anita Among in parliament as a procurement officer to get political turncoats from the opposition. That has been our assignment.
Exactly. Like, they're going to try to paint Anita Among as this scary creature, like a monster. Oh, this is the worst. But you have to understand, Anita Among's corruption did not come out of the blue. She was being used by Museveni to poach members of the opposition, to buy them off, to give them money. She would give them money for them to cross over. Where was she getting this money? Was that money ever accounted for? Absolutely not. It was given to her from the sources of Museveni. Her only crime is one: building coalitions within the Museveni criminal empire. Those coalitions that were all pointing her into one direction, becoming president of Uganda. That is the only crime she committed. And now they're using everything they have or they know about her to embarrass, hold her to account, stifle, and pretty much neutralize her.
And a lot of cash, a lot of money has been placed at her disposal.
Exactly.
To execute that role. To procure turncoats from the opposition, win them over to NRM. That has been her role.
Yep.
Indeed, to Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, she has excelled. And she's proud of it. In all the meetings they have had at Chankwanzi, everywhere, public meetings, she's been so much proud of that.
Exactly. I mean, she's videotaped saying, hey, do you know what it means when you have, in the opposition, you have a few of your people in an opposition political party? She said, I've been able to poach a few folks from the opposition to join the NRM. She's proud of that. She's bullied and found pride in criminality, even dismissed in situations where folks who are so much concerned about corruption were like, we need to investigate. Look, the reputation of this parliament is completely going to gutters. We need to investigate. She would silence them. She would bully them, scream at them, yell, like literally, to them and order them to sit. At one time, I think she bullied, insulted Theodore the former Remiaga member of parliament. This is no surprise at all.
Having executed that role excellently. That's what she has been saying, putting on record. And in the presence of Mr. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, with his consent and approval, that actually she has executed that duty excellently. And Museveni has applauded her on several occasions. To the extent that now, she turned the parliament, the corridors of parliament, the canteen of parliament, even our office, as a stock exchange market for political turncoats.
That's sad. Exactly. There's no better description of what she's been doing. Buying off people. Giving them rewards. Those turncoats. Okay, we're going to come back to Erias Lukwago. Let's go on and listen to the outgoing leader of opposition, Joel Ssenyonyi. Listen to what he says here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back here.
Unwritten law that she didn't know about. All the laws are written. And I hear she studied law at some point. I'm not sure, but I hear. So I imagine she knows about these things. We confronted the speaker numerous times, even on the floor of parliament, and said, look, this corruption has now gotten to very astronomical levels in the commission, in your office. And her excuse, her convenient excuse was, you people are being used by homosexuals to fight me and so on. And we said, forget I don't know why you like homosexuals so much and always talk about them and use them as a scapegoat.
It is scapegoating because they know Ugandans, many Ugandans, their minds are really alien to that. You have so many who want to pose as religious zealots. Oh, see me, I am a deputy Jesus or deputy Allah or deputy God, or I'm going to tell you how you should behave. It is utter stupidity. Usually they go, let's talk about the homos. For what reason? I mean, I do not understand. Explain to me like a kindergartner. If people believe that, they cannot deal with homosexuality, that's bad, why are they okay with if they believe that's a crime, why are they okay with lawlessness such as abduction, torturing, and killing of innocent people? Because you'd think, Anita Among, if she's so much against this thing she considers to be a sin from her religious whatever, how about the killing of innocent people? How come she doesn't get, in any way, doesn't get moved if it is mentioned or even asked to be discussed in parliament? They're all hypocrites, using that as a scapegoat.
The issues we are raising are here on paper. You cannot be misusing taxpayer money like this. You know that you're buying generators. They bought generators for her office, for her home, and the home, not office. Generator for herself and the deputy speaker, each nearly about 300 million shillings.
Each generator, 300 million shillings. Now, again, you have to realize that, this is all a facade, a complete veneer. If they bought these two generators, each, the speaker and the deputy took one, when are they arresting and raiding the homes of Thomas Tayebwa? Because Thomas Tayebwa is as equally as a thief as Anita Among. Let's see that drama you are pulling off and stuff do the same with Thomas Tayebwa.
For their private homes. How does that make sense?
No, it doesn't.
An electric fence was constructed at her private home in Bukedia. About 600 million shillings. That's her private home. How does that make sense? She awarded her radio station in Bukedia a contract worth 3.1 billion shillings. Apparently to run adverts of parliament and all of these different things. And I said, was there bidding by other media houses so that we get the most qualified, the one with the biggest coverage and all of those different things? There was none. The people who signed on the contract were staff in her office, signing off as managers. And many other ridiculous things, that billions of shillings were being put on accounts of staff of parliament. Chris Obore, 4 I don't know how many billion shillings, and all these others. They would go, withdraw, and then take to her home. there's no way these things can be right. And whenever we talked about these issues, people were saying, you, Joel, you hate the speaker, and so on. I said, look, there's no reason anyway I must have to like her. But whether I hate her or not, the issues of concern are here. Why are they not being responded to? It reminded me of the time when I was COSASE chairperson. The time we were investigating Uganda Airlines, among other entities. And we were going after the then CEO, Jennifer Bamuturaki. It was the same talk. Joel doesn't like government, so he doesn't like this government official and so on. He's malicious. But I said, it's only a matter of time. All these things will get unraveled. So here we are today. I don't know if there's a best time to fight corruption and a bad time. Corruption has got to always be confronted head on. But again, as I have said, this regime is not interested in fighting corruption.
Exactly.
And while I am happy that the Speaker of Parliament is being called to order, because these are things I have been screaming my voice hoarse to an extent that she began to target me as an individual, trying to bring a law to push me out and many, many different things, yeah? So I am happy that she's being called to order, but I'm not overly excited. Like I've seen some people getting overly excited that now this is a serious fight against corruption. No, please do not be hoodwinked.
No.
Because there is a plethora of other corrupt people. Can we see them being called to order?
Exactly. Start with her immediate deputy, Thomas Taebwa. When he mentions the plethora of people who are corrupt, we can name names without even having to do any research. Many of them are actually proud. Some of them have been captured on camera stealing. He's going to go on and mention the Mabati saga, where they ended up holding to account only one person. Really?
Powerful officials, including the vice president, prime minister, and so on, they all stole Mabati for Karamoja.
Exactly.
None of them has been called to order. They've all been engrossed in corruption for a very long time. But they'll not be called to order. I think the biggest offense, the other offense aside from being a thief, Anita Among, her other offense is she has been developing ambitions to run for president.
Exactly. That's her only crime. That's her only crime. Listen here again.
The other offense aside from being a thief, Anita Among, her other offense is she has been developing ambitions to run for president.
And you want to add a caveat on what he said. He developed ambitions of becoming president, and the excitement was too much for her to control. She, I don't know, she started sort of even building an image of that, see what I am. I think there was some sort of inferiority complex within her that she didn't believe she was confident. And I don't want to even think, I mean, we're talking about a woman who bleached her skin color. There was, it really tells you that there was something lacking in her. Even when she started having these, developing these presidential ambitions, she wanted to show people that, see me, get ready for my, campaign, or get ready if I announce. Excitement. And Erias Lukwago is going to go on and delve deep into that. Listen.
Whoever has been to the office of Anita Among, money has changed hands. Stories are told on how cash has been flowing. She's been a fountain of cash. She's been just like a spring well. Nothing. Whoever visited Anita Among in the office, whoever would go to her home, whoever would go everywhere, it's money.
Yep.
Money all over. So Mr. Museveni wants to deceive Uganda that he is not aware where Anita has been getting all that money from. So that is Anita Among for you. Wanted to summarize her character, her personality, and also the role she has been playing in NRM. A tested product of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for that specific role of procuring opposition political turncoats to NRM. That is number one. And her conduct, first of all, this is now the second issue. Whatever raid is going on right now is, and the shenanigans associated with the raids The shenanigans, an indictment on Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's government. An indictment.
Yeah.
Why? All this has been happening. Mr. Museveni facilitating Anita with lots of colossal sums of money. Now he's claiming
These
that
lawyers have big terms, colossal, plethora. You had Ssenyonyi use. These lawyers use big terms, shenanigans.
Anita Among has gone overboard in executing the role he assigned her. An indictment on Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who facilitated her with all that money, who gave her all the state protection to behave the way she has behaved.
Exactly.
Mr. Museveni, who gave her all the authority and mandate to behave the way she has behaved. It is Mr. Museveni. So whatever has been happening is an indictment on Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and whoever is associated with that behavior. What brought Anita Among problems?
Yep.
Being a kleptomaniac she is, demonstrated village excitement.
Listen to that one more time. Being a kleptomaniac she is. Okay, please continue.
Being a kleptomaniac she is, demonstrated village excitement with all the wealth she had amassed.
Exactly.
He's not been that smart like the many NRM actors inside. Quote and unquote smart.
I'm so glad that he's using air quotes because I've always argued. People say, Museveni is smart. If he's not smart, how has he been able to be president for 40 years? What are you talking about? It's like you talking about a man who abuses young, babies and he's not been able to be arrested. Be like, oh, he's a smart man. Do you know how long he's been doing that wrong thing, but nobody has arrested? That's not smartness. That's why we call it quote-unquote smartness. Superintending over the abduction, killing, and torturing of innocent people. Theft, complete plundering of a country. The death of the country's institutions. A poor, broken healthcare system. An infrastructure that is abysmal. That's not smartness. Of course, you can hoodwink or indoctrinate or play on the minds of people, but that's not smartness. So I'm so glad that says, oh, quote-unquote, who play politics smart. It's not smart. It is selfish.
They have been able, many of them have been able to hide their wealth. They are stinkingly rich. All those people you see in another, stinkingly rich. I don't want to mention names here. You see the assets here in Kampala, what they own here. Whoa. You think all these fronts here are acting on their own? The Miss Chigundus, the Bosco Monges, the Vasajabala, the who, all of them here, the so-called state tycoons. Those are agents of the top echelon of NRM.
Top echelon. Echelon. Okay. I love these lawyers. They usually use big terms. But the point is trying to make, you know what? The only crime Anita Among committed, there are two crimes. One is having presidential ambitions. Two, it is the excitement, the village excitement is just mentioned. Museveni, wears this white oversized shirt every day. But do you know how much money he's stolen from Uganda? Do you know? I mean, think about this. With all this wealth that is blowing your mind, every time they make a raid, every time you read in the news and you find out, oh, she owns this, or she was taking home this amount of money, she stole this and blah, blah, blah. Or she spent this money on buying a Rolls Royce and stuff like that. All of that, she's been able to do that in a space of 6 years. Now, Tell me, what are those folks within the Museveni criminal regime have been doing for the last 40 years? This Anita Among is just a drop in the ocean. That's child's play. They're looking at her, be like, okay, she bought her a Rolls Royce. They'll be like, okay. And they don't even care. Because you find they've got like 6 Rolls Royce on a street that at a place probably in Switzerland or Belgium or France. These folks have homes in Washington, D.C. or New York. They have penthouses. You know, they have, they've invested in these countries. They laugh at you. They look at you. They don't care. When they come to Uganda, you'll even find them probably riding on a motorcycle. If it wasn't for the traffic jam, they would be riding on a bicycle. Or if it wasn't a threat to their lives, they have money. When they come to these countries, they are usually in the most luxurious places you know. So, Anita Among, that is nothing. I mean, at a point, they decided to be like, okay, let's go after Anita Among. Listen, go back and listen to how many times the likes of Irene Muriago, the likes of Betty Kamya have warned. I mean, Sam Kahamba Kutesa, there was a full report by NBS that showed how he's been involved in stealing the country. Don't mention, this is just a veneer, a facade, phony investigations. They won't amount to nothing. And with that said, let's listen to Ssenyonyi, and then I'll be calling it a conversation.
And that's been clear to all and sundry. So they decided to use her theft to say, okay, now that we have a charge against her, let's deal with her once and for all. But otherwise, it's not really the fight against corruption. Otherwise, this whole government, all government officials would all be in jail.
Yep.
Parliament passes and something we're always quarreling about, trillions of shillings worth of classified. That classified budget is what is used by Mr. Museveni and his son. They're the ones who control it. It's not audited. They do with it as they please. That's also corruption. Mr. Museveni said, no, these ones I have forgiven them. How do you forgive some and not others? How do you choose?
Yeah. How do you arrest Anita Among, who awarded herself 300 million shillings to buy a generator for her private home, an action that was actually extended to Thomas Taibwa, her deputy, and you're not arresting him? What are you doing?
Because it should be court to determine eventually. But people were taken to court by the Inspectorate of Government, these MPs that were extorting billions of money from government entities. And then he said, now these ones I forgave. So that shows you that this really is not just a fight against corruption. So people should not get overly excited, because he could have forgiven her like he forgave the others. And besides, this is not the first time that we are raising these issues. When I wrote to the IGG twice.
Yeah. And I think now people, I've seen a few people on social media going like, Mhosi is tough, Mhosi doesn't care about corruption. Are you kidding me? Are we playing? He's corrupt should we investigate how he ends up being a CDF, or when he was in the position of a Special Force Command head? They don't care. They do not care. We just have to dismantle the Museveni criminal regime and rebuild our country. Now, that doesn't take away the fact that I am glad for what I'm seeing, because it absolves us. We get vindicated. In the end, we'll be like, okay, see, guys, we've been telling you this woman is a thief. Now, do you all agree? And then it exposes people to the theft that is in the government, because they're able to add dots and be like, come on, she's been able to accumulate all this wealth in a space of 6 years. How about other folks who have been there for 40 years and plus? My name is Mordecai Murisa. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll be here following events and trying to make sense out of everything regarding the chaos, the turmoil in the life of Anita Among. See you. Bye-bye.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.